what's up, everybody? It's Cody with Blood Money MMA Bets, and I'm back with another prediction video. This week, I'm going to be breaking down UFC 282 Ankalaev versus Blachowicz. It's going to be a good card. Got some good bets on it. Got some good fights. Obviously, we lost a good fight we really wanted between Yuri and Glover, but hopefully maybe we'll get that in the future, though. Still some good fights, some good betting spots. We're going to do a quick recap of UFC Orlando, and then we'll get right into this UFC 282 card. UFC Orlando, I went 2-3 for minus 4.05 units. Had a couple close fights on it, maybe a couple bad bets. Definitely shouldn't have played two parlays. If you ever see me playing two parlays again, fade me. You will never see that out of me again. I don't know what happened, how I ended up with two of them, but 2-3 minus 4.05 units. My two winning bets, I had Darren Elkins over 2.5 rounds plus 2.5 units on that. And yeah, man, that was scary about the whole dang fight. He was getting beat up, but I knew he was tough enough to survive, and that's exactly what he did. Second winning bet was Yasmin RDA parlay plus 2.05 units. And man, yeah, man, they both killed it. They both did really good, dominated their opponents. You know, Yasmin had a little bit of adversity in that first round, but she is a savage. Three losing bets. I had Scott Holtzman minus 3.1 units, and that was a close fight, man. I thought he won the third round. He got taken down for the last 2 minutes like three times, but Clay never even landed a punch on him. He had a really good first 2.5 minutes of that round with damage and striking, but it is what it is, man. Minus 3.1 units on that. Second losing bet was Matt Schnell over 2.5 rounds, minus 3.5 units. And yeah, man, I really thought he could survive if he would have just not kept chasing him and running into the same punches over and over. I think he got dropped 3 or 4 times. And all I was going to do is back up, you know, and kind of let Mateus come to him and not go right into his trap every time. But that's Matt Schnell, man. Terrible fight IQ. Third losing bet was Yasmin RDA Diakese. Should have never put that in, man. I had my Yasmin RDA bet in. I had the good odds on it, and then I went back and got greedy, and threw Diakese on there, who fought terrible. He fought terrible. I don't even know what that was. But so that brings my official bet record to 173 and 122 for plus 70.1 units. So I'm still happy about being above 70 units, but we got to do better, and we're going to do better on this card. They don't call me Mr. Pay-Per-View for no reason. I'm about to prove it to everybody why they call me that. We're going to do a couple things I got to go over, and then we're going to get right into this UFC 270 or 282 card. I want to go over I'm going to do a giveaway for this pay-per-view. This card kind of sucks. I had a special one set up for it, but we're still going to go through with it. So it's going to be 2 autograph cards. We got Glover Teixeira autograph. Obviously, I had that in because he was going back for his title fight again, but he's still a legend, and he'll be back. I mean, he's going to get his title shot. He's not the one that got injured. The second card is Billy Quarantilo, rookie autograph, Billy Q. That's a really nice card out of Optic Contenders, a really nice autograph, and that's a rookie autograph. So them are 2 really nice cards. The game is going to be the same, man. Put in a 3-fight parlay. Put in your best 3-fight parlay. Please put the odds that it pays out so I know who wins in case there is a tie. And whoever puts it first will win. But definitely put in the odds that it pays out. Everyone, please take the time to like this video. Subscribe to my channel if you already haven't. Hit that bell notification if you want to get the best picks early. I appreciate everybody, man. Go to my go to my Instagram, go to my Twitter, Blood Money MMA Bets. Follow me there. That's where you'll get my early bets throughout the week. I post 1 bet each day throughout the week, and then I'll do my official bets video on Thursday. So if you want to get them, if you want to get some bets early, check me out there. Also, check me out on my channel this week for some pay-per-view live shows. I got me and Johnny K picks on Wednesday night on my channel, and then we will be doing a live show again, I believe, 2 hours before the pay-per-view. So just look out for all that stuff during the week. Let's get right into this card. We're going to go to 1 second. First fight that I have is Cameron Saaiman. I'm probably going to butcher some names as usual, but we got Cameron Saaiman versus Stephen Koslow. Cameron Saaiman is 6-0. He's only 21 years old, but he's 6-0. He's currently sitting at minus 270 We got Steven Koslow. He's 6-0. He's a late replacement fight, currently sitting at plus 220. Cameron Saaiman, if you watch him fight on the Contender Series, man, the kid's good. Really good at switching stances. He had really good striking from both stances. Good long boxing. The Wang kid that he was fighting had pretty good striking. He was kind of piecing up Cameron in that first round, but then once Cameron got that rhythm, he was able to start picking him apart. He tired out Wang and ended up knocking him out cold with the left hook in that second round. His offensive and defensive grappling looked good. I mean, I don't know how good his offensive wrestling is, but his defensive wrestling looked pretty good. I think he landed one takedown in the second. Wang was able to get up, but his striking looks phenomenal. Steven Koslow, man, he's 6-0 also. Both these kids are young. He's only 25. Cameron's 21 years old. But Koslow's coming in on super short notice. He's actually like 16-1, including his amateurs. So he was 10-1 in the amateurs. Really good wrestling. He's got pretty good wrestling. He's got really good jiu-jitsu, man. All of his wins, if you see here, they're all by submission. All his pro wins are submissions in the first round, but he's fighting a really low level of competition. But Saaiman had some low level competition early on. But you see here, he had a lot of decisions. Then he started just submitting everybody. But really, he wants to just use his wrestling to get it into, or use the striking to get into grappling range, take the guy down and choke him out. And I just don't think that's going to work here in this fight, man. Cameron Saaiman looks super well-rounded. He looks like he's going to be able to stop the wrestling. I mean, he may get taken down once or twice in that first round, but he'll be able to work his way back up. He showed really good jiu-jitsu. Wang took him down. Once Wang started slowing down, he started trying to take Saaiman down. But anytime this fight's going to be on the feet, which is going to be towards the end of the first round and the second and third, I think I'm sorry. I think Saaiman is going to be piecing him up. And I'm not sure if he gets to finish because obviously Koslow, like I said, 10-1 as an amateur, 6-0. He has never been finished. So I don't know if Cameron gets the finish, but I do like him to get the win, man. I really think this kid's going to be really good. He's training with Dricus du Plessis, so he's really about his training. Next fight is in the men's light heavyweight division. This is another replacement fight where St. Preux was supposed to fight somebody else. He was supposed to fight somebody else. St. Preux was supposed to fight Felipe Lenz. And Lenz withdrew like he always does. This is going to be a terrible fight. It's not really a fight you want to bet on. You got Ovince St. Preux, who is 26-16. And I don't know why Tapology doesn't have the number on. But yeah, he's 26-16. He's currently sitting at -115. You got Antonio Trocoli. He's 12-3. He's currently sitting at -15. This is a pick'em, and it should be for a reason because short replacement notice fight. Both these dudes, we don't know too much about them. You know what I mean? Like we know a lot about Ovince St. Preux, but he's old. You're not gonna see no improvements out of him. I think he's still just there, kind of to get a paycheck. He's still got a little bit of power in his straight left and left hook, but other than that, man, he's real low output. He's not really. He's old. It doesn't seem like he wants to take any damage anymore. Tanner Boser was able to get him out early, early in their fight. As soon as he wasn't able to do anything, Jamal Hill beat him down. He looked terrible against Marcio Ruja or against Shogun when Shogun is not Shogun who it used to be. Antonio Trocoli, man, I watched this fight on the Contender Series. I watched some other fights on regional scene fights he had in Brazil, and he really just wants to take guys down. He's a big dude. You see right here, he's 6'5" with the 82-inch reach. I mean, Ovince St. Preux is obviously big too, 6'3", 80-inch. But Trocoli's another guy. He really just wants to come out, wrestle a guy down, and choke him out. That's what he's been doing lately. That's been working for him. But I don't think that's going to work at all against Ovince St. Preux. Ovince St. Preux showing pretty good takedown and jiu-jitsu, takedown defense and good jiu-jitsu his whole career. He's been the guy submitting guys. Really, he's just got so much more experience. I would stay far away from this fight. I'm going to take Ovince St. Preux to stop Antonio Trocoli's takedowns and be able to beat him up standing up. But yeah, man, I would not trust either one of these guys. Next fight we have is in the men's bantamweight division. We got Jay Perrin taking on the 18-year-old sensation Raul Rosas. Jay Perrin is 10-6. He's currently sitting at +200. Raul is 6-0. currently sitting at minus 230. This is going to be a good fight, man. This is going to be a good test for both of these guys, to be honest. Jay Perrin, man, this kid's good. He's got a really good boxing, nice straight punches. He's got some decent power. He's seen his last fight. He almost was able to get Aori Kulang out right in the third round. He put a ton of pressure on him, had him hurt. He's got really good offensive and defensive grappling, man. Like that's what's nervous. Should make Raul nervous, man. I watched Jay Perrin against Bautista again, and he came in on short notice, and he fought really good in that fight. Like he stopped pretty much all of Bautista's takedowns, and when Bautista got him down, he hopped right back up, and he landed a couple takedowns of his own in that fight. He really got beat up in the stand-up, but not even too bad. But we know Mario Bautista's is savage. I mean, Jay Perrin, 29 years old. He's been in the game for a long time. And I know Raul Rosa, he's only 18 years old. And I know he's been fighting for a long time. But Perrin's dad was a boxer, too. And he's been in the game and fighting like as a kid, just like Raul. Man, this kid, though, man, looked really good on the Contender Series fight. If you watch anything before that, he's just fighting really, really low-level guys, taking them down, choking them out. His striking looks pretty good when he's standing, but he just likes to throw. He's got really fast kicks. He throws a lot of kicks, really just to get him in range to wrestle, because I don't think he feels that comfortable striking yet. Not terrible, though, but I think Jay Perrin's going to have better striking. He's got really good wrestling and good jiu-jitsu, but he's more submission over position, man. He got reversed a couple times in that Contender Series fight, and the guy he fought did not seem that good at all. Man, this is going to be a really, really, really good fight. But I just think that if this stays standing, it's going to be Jay Perrin all day. I don't know, man. This was such a hard fight to pick. I do not think the line should be where it's at. I think Jay Perrin as a big underdog could be a decent bet if you can get him at plus 200, because he's got good grappling, he's got good wrestling, he's got good jiu-jitsu, and to be honest, I think that this is going to be a pretty big step up in competition for Raul, and I think Jay Perrin has a good enough grappling to keep it standing and be able to beat him up. So I'm actually going to take the underdog here. I don't think I'll be betting it, but I am going to take Jay Perrin, man. I think that Rosa, he needs to. He can prove it to me in this fight that he's completely ready for this. But before that, man, I got to see. And I got to take Jay Perrin. He looks really well-rounded, and I know he's going to have the better striking for sure, the more power. And I think he's going to have the grappling and stuff to keep it standing. Next fight is in the men's flyweight division. We got Daniel Da Silva versus Vinicius Salvador. Daniel Da Silva is 11-4. He's currently sitting at plus 170. Vinicius Salvador is 14-4, and he is currently sitting at minus 210. Daniel Da Silva, man, we've seen him in the UFC. He's got really, really good aggressive striking. He's got decent wrestling. He's got pretty good BJJ, and that's all for about a half a round, man. He was I watched his Victor Altamirano fight, man. He was doing good. He dropped Altamirano, was cracking him, but as soon as he couldn't get him out of there and Altamirano started landing a couple shots of his own, Daniel Da Silva was done. You seen him get choked out or tapped out, armbarred knee barred, I think, by Francisco Figueiredo. I believe it was a knee bar. Knee bar in 1 minute. And then before that, you seen Jeff Molina. He went out there, gassed himself out, one hard round, and then Molina was able to take him out. And I see that happening here. He's coming in on short notice. Salvador, man, this dude is tough. He's got excellent kicks. He's got good jiu-jitsu. He's got good wrestling, and he's got excellent power in both hands. You've seen in his fight on the Contender Series, man. He was hitting that Shannon Ross with everything but the kitchen sink, and finally got him out of there in the second round. But I like this kid, man. He showed good toughness. He showed good heart. He's well-rounded. I think that this is going to be a firefight from the beginning, and I think that Vinicius is more durable, and he's definitely tougher. He can take the beating that I don't think Da Silva can take. So I'm going to take Salvador to get the TKO in the first round. And I'll be looking at the over-under prop on this fight for sure. But don't really trust really a money line on this prop, because Daniel Da Silva could come out here and hit something big early. But I do like the under on that. Next fight is in the men's middleweight division. We got Chris Curtis versus Joaquin Buckley. Chris Curtis is 29-9, currently sitting at plus 120, and Joaquin Buckley is 15-5, currently sitting at minus 150. And this is going to be one of the better fights on the card. We got Chris Curtis. Excellent takedown defense, good jiu-jitsu, great get-up game if he gets taken down. Excellent boxing, man. Guy works the body with good uppercuts, good hooks to the body. Good boxing, obviously good power to the head. He hurt Phil Hawes, hit him with a knee to the body to finish him after hurting him to the head. Hurt Brandon Allen with body shots, and then ended up hurting him with head shots and finishing him. He's a savage, man. Really well-rounded veteran, 35 years old. Didn't look that good against Jack Hermanson last fight on short notice, but just kind of, was low output and was getting stuck watching Hermanson. I don't think that can happen this fight when he's fighting Buckley, who is a savage, man. All action. He's tough as they come. He's got good wrestling. He's got good defensive wrestling, good offensive wrestling. He's got good power in both hands. These guys are kind of identical. It's just that Buckley's like a little bit of a newer version because I feel like he uses offensive wrestling more. And he's got a great gas tank, man. He's going to have more output. I think that I don't know if he has as much one-shot knockout power, but he's got really good power, man. This is going to be an excellent fight. I expect it to be a back and forth. Both dudes landing big shots. I think Buckley, if anybody's going to be landing the wrestling exchanges, it's going to be Buckley. I think Buckley's going to have the more output, maybe even land, some of the bigger shots in this, but I think he can use some grappling throughout this fight. I'm going to take Joaquin Buckley, but it's going to be a crazy fight, man. It's going to be a really good fight, and I think it should just really be a pick 'em. I don't think there should be any real big favorite on either side. So, yeah, man, give me Buckley. And I think that fight actually goes to decision. Both them dudes are really, really durable, super durable. So give me Buckley by decision. Next fight is in the men's heavyweight division. We got Jairzinho Rozenstruik versus Chris Daukaus. Jairzinho is 12-4, currently sitting at -180. Chris Daukaus is 12-5, currently sitting at +150. Yeah, man, this is, going to be basically a heavyweight striking match. We got Jairzinho, who's the kickboxer. Good kicks, doesn't use them as, that much. He's really more of a boxer, throwing really heavy hands. Got KO power. You've seen him KO a lot of people like, who is it? You've seen him KO Arlovski, Sakai. He's got a bunch of them, man. I'm going to have to go look. But Arlovski, Sakai, he KO'd Junior Dos Santos, Alistair Overeem right at the end in a fight that he probably shouldn't have won. But if you look here at his record, man, he's 2-5 and 2-4 in his last 6. But man, he could really be right here 2-5 because that Overeem win, man, he was losing that whole fight up until the end. But that just shows the power that he has in his hands, man. And since this is going to be a striking match, and I feel like he has the more one-shot power, it's going to be very dangerous for Chris Daukaus, man. He's been knocked out 2 times in a row. One time by Derek Lewis, one time by Curtis Blades. He's a very small heavyweight. Last fight, he said he came in at 243. I know the fight before that, he came in at 240. And Jairzinho, man, he's, a good 260, 270 by the time the fight night comes. I just don't like that Daukaus comes in that light. He's got really good boxing. He's got a black belt in jiu-jitsu. He doesn't use his wrestling or grappling, though. But he's got really fast hands. He's got good power in both hands. But I just think that he caught some quick knockouts early in his career in the UFC, and they put him up against really good guys pretty early, and it showed that he wasn't able to handle him. And I don't think he's going to be able to handle the striking here. I think it's going to be a close striking match and kind of low output and boring all the way up until Jairzinho lands a big shot in that end of that first round or second round, man. I think anytime these guys start exchanging, the power edge is always going to be on Jairzinho, probably even the technique too. This guy's been kickboxing for a super long time. Both these guys are almost 34 years old. They're pretty much both the same height and reach. Jairzinho's got 2 inches of reach. But yeah, give me Jairzinho, man. I don't really feel comfortable in it because he's burnt me a couple times in fights. He's not very trustworthy either as Daukaus, but I do like the under. I'll be looking at what the under comes out at. I'm sure it's going to be 1.5, and we'll see what that's set at, because this could also be a very boring heavyweight fight for a while, because Jairzinho will walk around with you not throwing punches the whole fight and wanting you to actually throw punches so he can counter you. But or it could just be mayhem from the beginning. Next fight is in the men's featherweight division. We got Erik Silva versus TJ Brown. Erik Silva is 9-1, currently sitting at -110. TJ Brown is 16-9, currently sitting at -110. And just like 2 days ago, Erik Silva was -160, 170. So a lot of money came in on TJ Brown. Erik Silva, man, 35 years old, almost 36 years old, making his debut in the UFC, coming in from Venezuela. Had a good fight on the Contender Series, fought a kickboxer that had no grappling. So he took him down and choked him out. But I watched his other regional scene fights. He's got some decent striking, likes to throw a lot of fast kicks. He's got some decent punches, but he really doesn't have the best offensive wrestling or defensive wrestling, but he does have really, really good jiu-jitsu. But he's fought really low-level guys. If you go here and take a look real quick, I mean, this guy was 18-6. That was a good one. And then the kickboxer, that was just set up. Actually, this guy was 12-5. I don't know what I was looking at. I must be thinking of a different guy I was watching, but I mean, now the guy's 12-7. But yeah, man, 35-year-old dude from Venezuela making his UFC debut, and he was a big favorite over TJ Brown, who's a UFC vet. He's had some good fights in UFC. He's had some good wins. He's had some good losses. He doesn't have the greatest fight IQ, but he does have really good wrestling. I think he's definitely going to have better wrestling in this spot. He might even have better jiu-jitsu. Both these guys are finishers. Erik Silva has finished, at least 5 in a row, maybe 6. We don't know what happened there. And then TJ Brown, he's also a finisher. His last couple fights have gone to decision, at least with his last fight with Norden Becky, but that dude is a beast. Rosa, nobody finishes him. Kai Kamaka is usually always tough. But yeah, man, I guess his last 4 went to decision. So both of them are durable. Both of them usually don't get finished. I just think that TJ Brown is going to actually have the better striking, better wrestling, and the jiu-jitsu is going to be about the same, man. So I'm going to take TJ Brown as an underdog to get this win. I really do think he's going to be better everywhere, and he's way more experienced. He's a younger fighter. I don't know what's really not to like about him there. I think some people are going to make some good money, whoever got him as a big dog. I wanted to bet him at +130, but I'll just stay away at even money. There's better fights to bet. Next fight is going to be a good one. Has our boy who we talked about earlier with the autograph rookie, Billy Q, sitting at 16-4. He's fighting Alexander Hernandez, who is sitting at 13-5. Billy Q is -170 right now. Alexander Hernandez is +140. Both these guys are about the same size. You got Billy Q 1 inch taller. You got Hernandez having 2 inches of reach. Hernandez is dropping down to featherweight for this. It's going to be his first fight at 145. And I don't like that. I don't like these guys that relied on speed in their division when they drop down in weight. It just doesn't work out, man. It's not worked out for any of them. And I don't expect it to work out for Alexander Hernandez here. Cuts into their cardio, does everything, takes away from their durability. You see with Dan Hooker, Kevin Kroom, TJ Dillashaw, basically anybody, man, that's been cutting down in weight class, been going down and just getting beat up. And I don't see nothing changing here. Billy Q, very, very well-rounded, has really good wrestling, really good offensive and defensive wrestling, excellent BJJ. Takes your back. He's going to lock in a body triangle, hold you there for the whole round, land some ground and pound. Good striking, good kicks, good leg kicks, really good jab. You seen him bust up in Shane Burgos' face really bad in that first round and a half in their last fight. Just a well-rounded guy with really good cardio and really, really, really good toughness. Alex Hernandez, you've seen him fight the best of the best at 155. He's really explosive, really fast with KO power. He had that crazy KO over Benil Dariush that probably should have never happened. But yeah, man, very powerful, very explosive. He's got good counter striking. He's got good offensive wrestling himself, good defensive wrestling, good jiu-jitsu. It's going to be a very good fight, man. They're both well-rounded and everywhere in MMA. I just think that Billy Q is going to have more cardio in this fight, and I think he's going to have way more output, and I think that he'll be able to survive Hernandez's big shots, and I think that Billy Q is going to wear on him, and Hernandez having to cut that weight to get down to 145. I just expect him to start wearing on him. I don't know if he gets the finish, but because Billy Q does get a lot of finishes because he just beats on people and wears on you. And he's very powerful. So give me Billy Q. I'm going to say by decision because Hernandez is really tough and durable. But yeah, man, I really like Billy Q in that spot. I probably won't be betting him because it's just risky. But because Hernandez, could come down here and look great at 145, come out and spark him. Next fight is another fight that's just so risky. Both these dudes are so risky. You got Edmen Shabazyan coming into 11-3. Edmen Shabazyan coming in at 11-3. He's currently sitting at minus 300. Dalcha Lungiambula is coming in at 11-5. He's currently sitting at plus 260. And yeah, man, Edmen Shabazyan, dude, this dude looked like he was going to be the next biggest prospect ever. They put him up against some really tough fighters, Nasruddin Imavov, Derek Brunson, and he had one more too mixed in there that, I just don't, Jack Hermanson. I just don't think he was ready for them guys. He's still only 25 years old. He's fighting guys at like 23 and 24, and they were just used veteran moves and used what they needed to use to beat him, which was wrestling and cardio basically. But he's really good, dude. He's got good striking. He's got super powerful 1-2 right down the middle with really good power. He's got a really nice head kick. You've seen him 1-2. Brad Tavares hurt him and then head kick him to sleep. You see him knocking everybody out, and he's got vicious ground and pound when he gets on top. His ground and pound is sick. Good offensive and defensive wrestling. He's really tough. He's got really good striking. You've seen him piecing up Jack Hermanson until he just got tired, and Jack was able to land the takedowns. But Dalcha, man, this dude, I don't even know really how he's still in the UFC. I believe he's, 1-4 in his last 5, and his win against Marcus Perez. That dude's not in the UFC and probably still shouldn't be. Probably never should have been. But yeah, he lost to Cody Brundage, bad fight IQ, terrible fight IQ. Lost to Mark Antonio Barriot, and then got knocked out really bad by Puna Haley, about 4.5 months ago. So I really like Edmen in this. I think he gets back to his ways. You see here, he's got all of his wins are all like first round knockouts besides one decision over Darren Stewart. And I think that he does that here. I think that he's going to be a lot faster. Look at the size difference. He's got 6 inches of height. Dalcha has 2 inches of reach, but he's got 6 inches of height. And Edmen's going to use that, and he's going to hit him with some hard 1-2s, and I think he's going to head kick Dalcha Lungiambula, just like Magomed Ankalaev did a couple of years ago to him. So give me Edmen Shabazyan, and I think he gets him out of there. I think he definitely gets him out of there in that first round and a half, because if not, it could get really dangerous for him because he has no cardio, and he literally falls off a cliff. The next fight is going to be so good. We got Bryce Mitchell versus Ilia Topuria, the undefeated featherweights going at it, and I cannot wait for this. We got Bryce Mitchell, man. Great, phenomenal wrestling, phenomenal jiu-jitsu, phenomenal cardio, and he showed really good improved striking against Edson Barbosa, dropping him. He gets guys down, you know what I mean? He uses chain wrestling. He's got a sick single leg. He's got a sick single leg trip. He's got body lock takedowns. Does what he needs to do to get the guys on the ground. He's a big guy. You see here, he's 5'10". He's going to have 3 inches of height and 1 inch of reach on Ilia Topuria. He's 15-0. By the way, Bryce Mitchell, and he's currently sitting at plus 130. Ilia Topuria is 12-0, and he's currently sitting at minus 150. And yeah, man, like I said, Bryce Mitchell, great everywhere, phenomenal wrestler. He really wants to get the fight to the ground, use his jiu-jitsu. He's been jiu-jitsu-ing everybody. You've seen him hit that twister on Matt Sales. I was able to take Edson Barbosa down over and over. Andre Feely, everybody wash, rinse, and repeat, man. Ilia Topuria, though, man, this dude is a savage, dude. Topuria is a savage. Phenomenal boxing with KO power. You've seen against Damon Jackson. You've seen against Jai Herbert. Man, this dude hits you and you go to sleep. It's not even like, club and sub. This dude or just club and TKO. This guy hits you, you go to sleep. Super tough, super durable. You seen him get dropped against Herbert, come back, look good. The only fight that gave me a little pause, man, was when he fought Youssef Zalal. I feel like him and Youssef were having some pretty good scrambles in that fight. Youssef was able to get on top a couple times. I know Topuria was on short notice and it was his UFC debut, but it looked like he got a little tired towards that middle of that second and that third round. And I got to assume that Bryce Mitchell, man, I think that he's going to be able to wrestle with Topuria. I know it's going to be close for a while, but I think he's going to be able to wrestle with Topuria. I think he's going to be able to do all right standing and be able to not get knocked out. But man, dude, I'm telling you, this fight, if I was everybody, I would just watch this fight as a fan. It's so hard to know who's going to win. Obviously, if Topuria can keep it standing, he's going to be able to finish Bryce Mitchell. But if Bryce Mitchell can do what he does, wrestle. I know Topuria's got a good black belt too, but man, I feel like when they do go to the ground, that Mitchell's going to be on top most of the time, and him being a little bigger is going to help too. Dude, this is no confident pick on this. I know Topuria's looked like a killer, and he's going to be a killer, But I really think that Bryce Mitchell is going to be able to wrestle with him and make him not as dangerous as this fight goes. So I'm going to take Bryce Mitchell. I'm not really confident in it, though, because I can see Topuria piecing him up, too. Like I said, I'm not making no bets on this, no over-unders, because Topuria come light him up, or Bryce Mitchell could cook him to the bone. So give me Bryce Mitchell. I'm going to say that he can actually get his wrestling going and just being a little bit of the bigger guy and wearing on Topuria. I think he can get the win, but no bets, man. I'm just watching that one as a fan. Next fight is in the men's 185-pound division, and this is going to be a good fight. We have Darren Till fighting Dricus du Plessis. Man, this is going to be a good one. Darren Till is 18-4-1, currently sitting at plus 150. Dricus du Plessis is 17-2. Currently sitting at minus 180. And this fight started off a pick'em and then turned into, Dricus is the big favorite. So this is going to be a good fight, man. Darren Till, you know him, great counter striking. He's got really good long striking, but he wants to counter strike. He's pretty low output. He's got good kicks, good counter striking, but he's got terrible takedown defense, man. He's got a terrible get up game, and when he's taken down, it's like he can't find a way up. Here's a couple other things. He's always hurt. He's been pulling out. Look at this. If you see right here, he lost to Robert Whitaker and had to pull out of 4 different fights. Had 4 different fights. Then he lost to Brunson, where he looked pretty terrible. I know Brunson's a great wrestler, but Brunson just kept wrestling until he finished him. And yeah, man, he's only fought 2 times in 2.5 years, both losses. He's 1-4 in his last 5. I know he's fighting pretty tough guys, but I mean, like Jorge Masvidal and Woodley. But and he arguably lost to Stephen Thompson too. His last KO, as you see here, came 5 years ago over Donald Cerrone. So he's not really all that dangerous. He's getting finished. He could be 1-5 in his last 6. I thought Stephen Thompson won that fight. That was in England, and they gave it to Darren Till, but I thought Thompson won. So he's not dangerous. You see, even before the freaking Donald Cerrone fight, the last one was 2015. So he's got 1 knockout in 7.5 years, and that was over Donald Cerrone. So he's just not dangerous. He's always hurt. He was fighting at 170, so he's already a smaller 185, even though he's 6'1". Dricus du Plessis, man, this dude is good. He looked good in his last fight against Brad Tavares. He came out a little hot, got pieced up at the beginning, but then came on like a savage. You see here, he's finished every single fight that he has been in up until his last fight with Brad Tavares. This dude is a straight killer. He goes for the kill at all times. He can choke you out. He can knock you out. You see, he's got a ton of guillotine chokes, rear naked chokes. There's 3 of them in a row. He started out choking people out, and I think now he's figured out that he can beat people up and knock them out too. Throws power with both hands, throws powerful body kicks. I like him, man. I think that he's going to be the more well-rounded fighter. He's going to be a little bigger, 1-inch height advantage, 1-inch reach advantage, but he's just a more well-built, big guy. I think he can use his wrestling in this fight. I know Till's been hanging out with Khamzat, but that don't make you Khamzat. So I'm going to take Dricus du Plessis, man. I don't know if he gets the finish because obviously Darren Till is tough, but I just think he wears on Till and beats him up, man. And in the end, you see him when it was time to become a dog with Derek Brunson, Till didn't become that dog, man. And another thing is he's never really beat any people really that good. He had that win over Calvin Gastelum right here in 2019, but that Calvin came back after fighting, like 5 months later after fighting Adesanya with that big beating he took. So give me Dricus, man. I think he has more ways to win the fight. I think he's going to be the bigger guy. I think that he's going to be able to use some wrestling in this fight, and I think that he's going to get that win. So next fight is in the men's welterweight division, legends fight. We have Santiago Ponzinibbio versus Ruthless Robbie Lawler. Ponzinibbio is 28-6. And he is currently sitting at minus 400. Robbie Lawler is 29-16, currently sitting at plus 330. Man, this is going to be a war, while it lasts. Ponzinibbio, dude, he's still looking good in his older age. He's only 36, so he doesn't seem old, when Robbie's got all that other wear and tear on him at his age. But yeah, man, he looked good. I thought he could have beat Pereira, man. That was a really close fight. He's lost 2 split decisions against very tough guys. Jeff Neal, Michel Pereira. These are 2 still young, up and coming tough guys. And he could have won both them fights. They were both super close. Obviously, he had a rare blood disease thing that he got, like an infection, and it kept him out of fighting for over 3 years, man. And when he came back, he took that bad knockout. But since then, he's looked really good. Phenomenal boxing, great power in both hands, good leg kicks, very tough, very durable. Good offensive and defensive wrestling. So this fight ain't going to the ground for either guy. It's going to be a striking match. But you got Robbie Lawler, man. You see him here. He's almost 41 years old. He's got a lot of wear and tear on him, man. He hasn't had a knockout. The last time this guy's had a knockout was when he knocked out Rory McDonald in the second fight, and that was in 2015. So he hasn't knocked anybody out. And, going on seven and a half years. He's just been taking L's. You see here, he's 4, 5, 6, 2 and 6 in his last 8. And the last one, he just kind of looked bad against Barberena. He came out, he did put up a good pace at the first round and a half, came out, was in a slugfest doing what Robbie Lawler does. But after a while, man, the damage just started taking a toll on him. Barberina's working the body, and Barberena was able to hurt him and get him out of there in the second. I just don't think Robbie Lawler's got it no more. I don't think he wants to be in there like he used to. It might just be paychecks. And I think that if Brian Barberena could do that to him, that Ponzinibbio is going to be able to do the exact same thing to him. So I got Ponzinibbio. I think that first round is going to be fun. They're going to be going back and forth. But as Robbie slows down and Ponzinibbio don't, I believe Ponzinibbio is going to start landing the way bigger, harder shots and working the body just like Barberena did. And I think he'll be able to get him out of there. So, yeah, give me Ponzinibbio, man. It's a big price at -400, but I do think he gets the job done. Next fight is in the men's lightweight division. We got Paddy Pimblett versus Jared Gordon. Paddy Pimblett is 19-3, currently sitting at -240. Jared Gordon is 19-5, currently sitting at +190. And yeah, man, this is gonna be a fun one. Paddy Pimblett's fights are always fun. If you'll watch any of his fights, his striking's improving. He's going to have the better striking here, in my opinion, as far as definitely going to have more power and more one-shot knockout power. He's got good offensive wrestling when he uses it, but his defensive wrestling ain't that great. He can definitely be taken down, but he's got a good get-up game, and he's got good jiu-jitsu, and seems to be really physically strong with these guys at 155, to be honest. He's his striking, that knockout of Luigi, man, that was nice, dude. He took some big shots in there, started throwing some really big hooks, and he's just very, very tough. He's got very good cardio. I think he uses his size well to wear on these guys, because if you see his other fights like Vendermini, that dude came out, hit him with all the big shots. He took them big shots and started hitting him back with some bigger shots and ended up finishing him. You've seen against Vargas. Vargas ended up coming out, taking him down, was working him a little bit. And then Paddy, as soon as he got up and he started to get the upper hand, man, his jiu-jitsu is very opportunistic. He's trying to submit you. He's not going for to hold you down, land a couple ground and pound strikes, hold you down and burn the clock. He's going for submissions at all time. He's very dangerous, man. He's dangerous standing up at this point in his career. He didn't always used to be, and he's dangerous on the ground. He's very, very tough. He's got excellent cardio, and he's very strong and big for this division, in my opinion. He's going to be an inch taller than Jared Gordon. You see Jared Gordon's 5'9", but he's going to have 5 inches of reach. He's got really long arms. Jared Gordon, man, almost 30. He just turned 34, but he's going to be almost 35, where Paddy Pimblett's almost 28. Jared Gordon's a good, well-rounded fighter. He's got decent striking. He doesn't really have much power, but he's got good volume. He's got decent wrestling, offensive and defensive. Obviously, he's been getting taken down in his last couple fights, though, man. He got choked out by Grant Dawson in that fight, and then Joe Selecki was able to take him down a couple times. And I thought Joe Selecki won that fight, too. But yeah, these other guys, his wins are all at 145. He used to go to 145 and not make weight, and then kind of just weight bully them guys. But you see here, this is the big thing that I like. Why I really like Paddy in this is, you see, Jared Gordon's kind of chinny, man. He got stopped there, right? Diego Ferreira stopped him with punches. Joaquin Silva stopped him with punches. Charles Oliveira stopped him with punches. Like he can definitely. He's been finished in all 5 of his losses, and 4 of them were knockouts, 1 was submission. So I think that this fight's going to be back and forth in that first round. Jared Gordon's also been getting slowing down a little bit in his last fights. Like that's how he got submitted in the 3rd round by Dawson. He was slowing down in that fight, and he slowed down a lot in the Santos fight too. He didn't really look that good against Leandro Santos, and he slowed down against Joe Selecki. And I don't think he can do that against Pimblett. I think Pimblett will definitely get a finish. And I think that Pimblett's going to hit way harder on the feet and can definitely get a club and sub. So I'm going to take Pimblett by 2nd round club and sub in this fight. I think the 1st round's back and forth scrambles, good fight. And 2nd round, as soon as Gordon starts slowing down, I think Paddy Pimblett starts taking over. Now to the main event, the 205-pound championship after we lost Glover versus Yuri. Now we have Jan Blachowicz versus Magomed Ankalaev. Jan Blachowicz is 29-9, currently sitting at +190. Magomed Ankalaev is 18-1, currently sitting at -250. And yeah, man, this is going to be a really good fight for the title. 2 big dudes. Jan Blachowicz, a little older, almost 40 years old, where you got the 30-year-old Magomed. Jan Blachowicz still got the Polish power. He's got really good leg kicks. He showed in the Alexander Rakic fight. He's still got good power in that left hand, the check left hook. He's still got good power in the right hand. He kept throwing this really nice combo in the Rakic fight where he would throw that left hook to the body and then come over the top with the right hand. He almost threw it too much. He probably threw it like 10, 15 times. That was all he was throwing, was that and a leg kick. But he was tearing up Rakic's leg, not the one that actually got hurt, but his lead leg. It was a pretty good fight, though. He still looked good in that fight. And I think that this fight's going to look a lot of the same, man. Magomed Ankalaev, excellent kickboxing, really light on his feet, southpaw, throws really powerful leg kicks himself. You've seen against Anthony Smith, was able to hurt him really bad with the leg kicks. He's got really fast hands and power in his hands. He's got really fast head kicks, good KO power in his head kicks. You've seen against Dalcha Lungiambula. You've seen against Ian Kutalaba, hit him with a nice head kick. A lot of different stuff, man. The dude is just dangerous. He's got good wrestling. He's a Dagestani guy. He's going to have the wrestling advantage and jiu-jitsu advantage, in my opinion. It's another thing about Jan Blachowicz, man. When he gets taken down, he does not get back up. He's really good on top and really heavy on top, but off his back, he kind of just, lays there and gets held down or gets beat up if it's Glover. But against Rakic, he got him down in the second and was able to beat him up a little bit. I just think Magomed Ankalaev is going to be younger, faster, have the little bit better striking. He's going to have to play safe, man. You cannot get caught by Jan Blachowicz's left hand. So he's going to have to play it safe, and I think that's what he's going to do. And I'm actually going to take him by decision, because if you watch a lot of Magomed's fights, man, he's been going to decision with these tough guys because he knows how to play it safe and not get knocked out against Krylov, against Volkan, against Santos, against Anthony Smith. He's going in there. He's staying safe against these guys. He's getting the decision. He got the ground and pound against Anthony Smith, but before that, you see 3 decisions in a row against very dangerous guys, so he knows how to stay safe. I'm taking Magomed Ankalaev. I'm going to take him by decision, man. I think that it's going to actually not be a very, very fun fight. I think it's going to be a boring fight for us to watch. I think it's going to be 5 rounds of a lot of anxiousness where these guys, you're waiting for them to throw a punch because they're going to be fighting pretty close. Magomed likes to stay in people's face, but he doesn't throw. He throws a lot of feints and stuff. But yeah, man, give me Magomed Ankalaev in a very, very, very good card, man. I got some good bets already in. I'm going to have some solid bets, man. We're going to come back from that little 4.05 unit loss. We're going to come back big. I'm going to double that. I'm going to get 8 units back this time. So I appreciate everybody watching this, man. Check out our live shows later this week. And we're going to have a good time, man. Good luck, everybody. And we're all going to win. We're going to get that back, man. I hate losing, but we're going to get that back.